Proverbs 14. Every wise woman has built her house, but the foolish breaks it down with her hands. He who walks in his straightness reveres Yahuwah, but he whose ways are crooked despises him. In the mouth of a fool is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise guard them. Where there is no oxen, the crib is clean, but from the strength of an ox comes much increase. A trustworthy witness does not lie, but a false witness breathes out lies. A scoffer shall seek wisdom, but is unable. But knowledge is swift to him who has understanding. Leave the presence of a foolish man, for you shall not perceive the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the clever is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools scoff at guilt, but among the straight there is delight. The heart knows its own bitterness, and no stranger shares its joy. The house of the wicked is destroyed, but the tent of the straight flourishes. There is a way which seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. Even in laughter, the heart is in pain, and the end of that joy is heaviness. The backslider in heart is satisfied with his own ways, but a good man from above. The simple believes every word, but the clever one watches his step. The wise fears and turns away from evil, but a fool rushes on and is reckless. He who is impatient acts foolishly, and a man who plans wickedness is hated. The simple shall inherit folly, but the clever are crowned with knowledge. The evil ones shall bow before the good, and the wicked ones at the gates of the righteous. The poor is hated even by his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who shows favor to the poor, O Baruch is he. Do not those who plan evil go astray? But kindness and truth are to those who plan good. In all labor there is profit, but talk of the lips only to poverty. The crown of the wise is their wealth. The folly of fools is folly. A true witness saves lives, but he who breathes out lies is a betrayer. In the reverence of Yahuwah is strong trust, and his children have a place of refuge. The reverence of Yahuwah is a fountain of life, to turn away from the snares of death. And a multitude of people is a sovereign's splendor, but in the lack of people is the ruin of a prince. He who is patient has great understanding, but he who is short of spirit exalts folly. A healthy heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. He who oppresses the poor reproaches his maker, but he who esteems him shows favor to the needy. By his own evil doing, the wicked is thrust down, but the righteous has a refuge in his death. Wisdom rests in the heart of him who has understanding, and among fools it becomes known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to peoples. The sovereign's delight is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is towards him who causes shame. Proverbs 15. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up displeasure. The tongue of the wise makes knowledge good, but the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. The eyes of Yahuwah are in every place, watching the evil and the good. A healing tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it crushes the spirit. A fool despises his father's discipline, but he who heeds reproof is clever. The household of the righteous is a great treasure, but the income of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise scatter knowledge. The lips of the wise are doing what? Scattering knowledge. But the heart of fools is not so. The slaughtering of the wicked is an abomination to Yahuwah, but the prayer of the straight is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to Yahuwah, but he loves him who pursues righteousness. Discipline is grievous to him who forsakes the way. He who hates reproof dies. The grave and destruction are before Yahuwah. How much more the hearts of the sons of men? A scoffer does not love his reprover, nor does he go to the wise. A glad heart makes good a face, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is stricken. The heart of the understanding one seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on folly. All the days of the afflicted are evil. But gladness of heart is a continual feast. Better is a little with the reverence of Yahuwah than great treasure with trouble. Better is a meal of vegetables where love is than a fatted calf with hatred. A man of wrath stirs up strife, but he who is patient appeases strife. The way of a lazy one is like a hedge of thorns, but the way of the straight is a highway. A wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to one lacking heart, but a man of understanding walks straight. Without counsel, plans are nullified, but by great counselors they are established. A man has joy by the answer of his mouth, and how good is a word in its season. The path of life is upward for the wise, to turn away from the grave below. Yahuwah tears down the house of the proud, and he establishes the boundary of the widow. Evil thoughts are an abomination to Yahuwah, but pleasant words are clean. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes lives. The heart of the righteous ponders how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil. Yahuwah is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart. A good report gives marrow to the bones. An ear that hears the reproof of life dwells among the wise. He who ignores discipline hates himself, but he who listens to reproof gets understanding. The reverence of Yahuwah is the discipline of wisdom, and before esteem is humility. Proverbs 16:28. A perverse man sends forth strife, and a slanderer separates intimate friends. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. He who loves transgression loves strife. He who exalts his door seeks destruction. He who has a crooked heart finds no good, and he who has a perverse tongue falls into evil. Proverbs 27. Verse 10. Do not forsake your own friend or your father's friend, and do not go into your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. Verse 15. Drops that never cease on a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 10. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. That's verse 9. Verse 10. For if they fall, one lifts his companion up. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. So as you could see, a friend loves at all times, not sometimes. A friend is not here today, gone the next. A friend does not send forth strife or pour evil out of his mouth. Only those who love transgression love strife, and a froward man or perverse man pours out strife, lives in strife, and envy is rottenness to the bones. The scripture is clear on how we can identify the righteous saints of Yahuwah Elohim, those who don't walk in strife, but those instead who love at all times, who don't forsake their friends, because the word warns us not to forsake a friend. It's what it says in Proverbs 27. Let's read it one more time. Do not forsake your own friend or your father's friend, and do not go into your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a friend far away.